Did you hear the news? The Internet Archive, the time machine of the digital world, just suffered one of the most significant data breaches in recent history. And when I say significant, I mean 31 million accounts significant. Yep, that's usernames, email address, and hash passwords exposed for the world, or at least hackers, to see. So what happened? Who's responsible? And what can you do about it? Stick around because I've got all the juicy details. Let's rewind to October 9th, 2024. That's the day it all went down. Visitors to archive.org, the holy grail of internet nostalgia, were greeted with ominous JavaScript alerts warning them that their data had been compromised. Think of it like someone walking into your local library, grabbing the announcement mic and yelling, "Your personal info is no longer safe." The Internet Archive, often referred to as the Internet's memory card, is a digital sanctuary for billions of web pages, videos, books, and audio files. It's where you go to find that old website you thought was lost forever, or to relive the early days of the internet. But as of October 9th, that sanctuary was under siege. This breach wasn't just an inconvenience, it was an attack on one of the most iconic and important platforms in the digital age. This wasn't just some small-time operation either. The hackers, claiming to be part of the pro-Palestinian hacktivist group Black Meta, had accessed a massive 4-gigabyte database containing the personal information of 31 million users. And yes, while the passwords were hashed using bcrypt, a solid security protocol, simple passwords like 123456 or password woo3 are still vulnerable. So if that's you, we need to talk. Now you might be wondering, how could something like this happen? Isn't the Internet Archive supposed to be, safe? Let's break it down. Here's how it all started. The hackers gained access through an SMS phishing campaign targeting Zendesk employees as part of a larger attack known as Zero Ktapus. Essentially, they tricked employees into giving up their credentials, which opened the door to the Internet Archive systems. Once inside, the hackers went to work, stealing a massive trove of data and even launching a coordinated DDoS attack that took the website offline for hours. And that wasn't the end of it. Shortly after, the stolen data appeared on hacking forums, sparking panic among users and cybersecurity experts alike. This wasn't just an attack on a website, it was an attack on a cornerstone of internet history. Let's talk about the numbers. 31 million accounts, usernames, email addresses, and hash passwords. While bcrypt is great at protecting passwords, it's not foolproof. If you used a simple or commonly reused password, it's time to change it. Like yesterday. Think about it. The Internet Archive isn't just some random website. It's a digital repository housing billions of web pages, videos, books, and audio files. A breach here doesn't just compromise user data, it threatens the very idea of preserving internet history. Imagine if malicious actors tampered with archived content, altering or deleting it permanently. The stakes are that high. Now let's put this into perspective. Have you ever stumbled upon a page on the Wayback Machine that reminded you of the simpler days of the internet? Maybe an old GeoCities site or your cringy high school blog? That's the kind of nostalgia the Internet Archive preserves. With a breach like this, there's the terrifying possibility that this history could be rewritten, or worse, erased entirely. Enter Black Meta, a hacktivist group known for its pro-Palestinian activism. They've made headlines before, targeting high-profile institutions and even launching a 100-hour DDoS campaign against a major UAE bank. In this case, they not only stole data, but also claimed responsibility for the DDoS attacks that bombarded the Internet Archive with fake traffic, causing widespread disruption. Why target the Internet Archive? It's still unclear, but hacktivist groups like Black Meta often go after symbolic targets to amplify their messages. By hitting the Internet Archive, they made a loud and disruptive statement. The DDoS attacks were particularly brutal. Imagine you're running a store and a mob of people keeps rushing in, not to shop, but just to block the aisles. That's essentially what a DDoS attack does. It floods a server with so much fake traffic that legitimate users can't access it. The next few days, the Archives team faced 24 separate attacks, many originating from devices in Korea and China. The Internet Archive team acted swiftly, shutting down compromised systems and working to restore services. By October 13th, the Wayback Machine, a fan-favorite tool for viewing old websites, was partially back online, albeit with limited functionality. By October 23rd, most core services were restored, and by November 4th, users could once again save new web pages to the archive. But the breach left its mark. The archive didn't just patch vulnerabilities. They overhauled their entire security infrastructure. New measures include passkey authentication and stronger password requirements. They've essentially turned their platform into Fort Knox for digital preservation. Here's where you come in. If you had an account on the Internet Archive, it's time to take action. Start by changing your password. And no, password 123 doesn't count. Use a strong, unique password for each account. And if you're tired of keeping track of a million different passwords, consider using a password manager. Here's a fun way to remember good password practices. Think of your password as a secret sandwich. Start with a capital letter, the top bun, throw in some numbers, the meat, add symbols, the cheese, and finish with more letters, the bottom bun. A tasty recipe for security. While you're at it, keep an eye on your email for any suspicious activity. Hackers often use stolen information to launch phishing campaigns or gain access to other accounts. And here's a pro tip. Enable two-factor authentication wherever you can. It's like adding an extra lock to your digital front door. Let's dig into the technical side. The attack began with SMS phishing targeting Zendesk employees. This was part of the larger Zero-K Tapas campaign, which has hit over 130 organizations to date. Once the attackers gained access to Zendesk's systems, they used their foothold to infiltrate the Internet Archive. But the hackers didn't stop there. They exploited vulnerabilities in a JavaScript library to display alerts on archive. Org, warning users of the breach, was a bold move, akin to burglars leaving a note behind saying, "We were here." The attackers also launched a series of DDoS attacks, flooding the archive servers with fake traffic. For the next few days, at least 24 separate attacks were recorded, with many originating from devices in Korea and China. It was like a digital game of whack-a-mole, with the archives team racing to restore normalcy. This breach is part of a growing trend in cyber attacks targeting high-profile organizations. Just this year, both the British and Seattle libraries experienced similar breaches. It's a wake-up call for anyone who still thinks cybersecurity is optional. For the Internet Archive, the incident underscores the need for constant vigilance. The mission to preserve digital history is more important than ever, but it's also a massive responsibility. With great data comes great responsibility, right? If there's one positive takeaway, it's that the Internet Archive didn't crumble under the pressure. Instead, they've emerged stronger, with improved security measures that set an example for other organizations. And for the rest of us, this is a reminder to take our digital safety seriously. If you've been putting off creating strong passwords or enabling 2FA, consider this your nudge. The Internet Archive hack was a wake-up call, not just for the archive, but for all of us who rely on digital platforms to store and access information. The breach exposed vulnerabilities, but it also highlighted the importance of transparency and swift action in the face of cyber threats. This also raises the bigger question of how we approach digital preservation in the modern era. Should platforms like the Internet Archive move toward a decentralized model? Could blockchain technology offer a way to secure and verify digital archives? These are discussions we'll need to have as we navigate the future of cybersecurity and digital history. If you're ready to step up your own cybersecurity game, now's the time to do it. Tools like LogMeOnce can help you manage your passwords and passkeys with ease, ensuring your digital life stays secure. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite Internet Archive memory? A long-lost website? An old video? Let's keep the conversation going. Stay curious, stay secure, and I'll see you in the next one.